I lost weight for good finally by putting 5 habits into place. And I'm going to share those habits with you today. Sometimes we can think that our bodies are working against us. Have you ever felt that way? No matter what you do, your body's working against you. I felt the same way until I discovered just 5 habits to lay down as a foundation to build upon that have changed my life. They help me feel better. They've given me more energy, more focus, and the ability to lose fat the way I've always wanted to my whole life. And I'm going to share those with you today. The first habit that I changed was I stopped dieting. I stopped counting calories and trying to stick to some regimental diet, eating 6 times a day, eating a certain amount of macros, eating whatever it was, whatever the diet of the century was at that point. I stopped doing that. And I realized that my focus has to be on real food. I've done the research, I've read the books, I've listened to the podcasts, and it all comes down to eating real food, to getting rid of the awful additives and the toxins and the sugars and the processed food, and focusing on getting, first of all, protein, getting enough protein. If you think you're getting enough protein, trust me, you're not getting enough protein. We need protein. We need protein to build muscle, which is so important for keeping us strong and healthy throughout our life, especially in middle age and beyond. Making sure I get protein, good healthy fats, and some good basic vegetables, maybe some nuts and seeds. But what it comes down to is proper human diet. Eating the way a proper human would eat. We don't need all those additives. We don't need the things, the processed food that really, if you went down and scientifically looked at them, they aren't food. Our food grows on trees. Our food comes from animals. That's where our food comes from. That's what was created for us. And that's what you have to focus on. Fish in the sea, animals on the land, and whatever in your season of fruits, vegetables, nuts. Those things are what we should be focusing on. The rest of the stuff really has to go if you want to live in the healthiest body that you have, because there's so many toxins. There's so many chemicals that have been added to our foods that mess up our hormones, mess up our metabolism, have us just holding on to fat to store those toxins. The best thing that I've learned is to eat real food, whole food, not processed junk, not a bunch of sugars, not breads and pastas, all this processed food, but sticking to whole foods. And that's what I do. And that's when I feel my best. And once you start eating that way, once you start cleaning out your diet, you will notice how badly you feel when one of those foods you have once in a while. You have a sweet, you have a processed food, you have a toxin, something that has a toxic, those industrial oils in it that we shouldn't be eating, but you will start to feel the difference because your body doesn't want that stuff. But we've eaten it for so long. Like I ate it for so long that my body stopped fighting against me. It was just storing everything. It wasn't until I started cleaning out my body that I could really listen to my body and understand what these foods were doing, what affects it. And now that I can eat whole foods, a good, proper human diet, what we're created to eat, I feel better. And I can tell in an instant if I've eaten something that is not agreeing with me. My body speaks very loudly and lets me know. So that's the one thing, biggest thing. I stopped dieting and I started eating real, one ingredient, whole foods. The next thing that I have done that has totally changed my health is adding in movement. Now, I dreaded the thought of working out. I did not like aerobic workouts. I did not like thinking of going to a class or going to a gym. I didn't want to pop in a VCR tape, CD. I didn't want to do that. I just felt like as a creation of God that I should have an easy way to stay healthy. I know our ancestors didn't run miles to stay in shape. I know they weren't in the gym pumping iron to make sure they built muscle. It was part of their life. And unfortunately, our lifestyles don't give a benefit of lifting heavy things or squatting around or running short bursts of energy to chase an animal. But there is a way that we can add that into our life without looking so hard or doing something that you really don't have the motivation to do. I've never been motivated to follow an aerobic workout for hours, 5 days a week, 7. But what I've found out is less is more, especially in midlife. Our bodies, if you are working out chronically, doing aerobic activity chronically running every day, chronically doing heavy, hard-paced workouts, aerobic workouts, that is working against you because it's raising your cortisol. Your cortisol is raised, your insulin comes up, you are storing fat. It is working against you. And I remember trying to be disciplined, working on elliptical every single day, 45 minutes, eating not hardly anything, and not losing weight and actually gaining weight and wondering what I was doing wrong. I was doing what I was supposed to do. It was bringing my heart rate up too much, and I was in sugar burning mode. I wasn't in fat burning mode, and it was causing a stress on my body consistently, and I wasn't able to drop weight. So what works? Small movement over the day, throughout the day. So what do? I walk. I don't sit very often. If you've heard the studies lately, sitting is called the new cancer because it leads to early death. Sitting is not good for you. We were not created to sit for hours and hours and hours. Try to get movement through the day. So I walk. I walk when I'm on the phone. I walk when I'm doing stuff around the house. I have a weighted vest on, so I'm added some strength training in. I do things throughout the day, squats, push-ups off the counter, planks, things I can fit into my day that feel natural, have a natural flow to them, so that I don't feel like I'm so regimented about working out. And it makes it part of my life. It just makes it part of my daily rhythm, and it's easier to do. Yes, I have a goal of 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day. Moving helps your body to work well. Walking is fat burning. It balances your metabolism. It helps to balance out your hormones. It gives you energy. It gives you focus. You feel better. We are made to move. But I know I get discouraged if I thought I had to sign up for a class. Just fit it into your life. What feels good to you? And as I'm learning, I continually educating myself. I did add a weighted vest. I do have some hand weights that I will probably be lifting to try to build some upper body strength. But push-ups do that. Planks do that. Lifting heavy things through the day do that. I am just trying to fit into my life movement. I know movement is important for my longevity, for my overall health and metabolism, and I fit it in whenever I can. Running up the stairs, walking down the stairs, doing squats, whatever you can do to fit it in, do it. If you have to sit for 20 minutes, after that 20 minutes is done, get up, move around, do some squats, walk around for a few minutes. Keep your body moving. It's one of the healthiest things you can do for your body, and I've learned that fitting it into your lifestyle, once it becomes a habit, it's just something you do and part of who you are, and it can totally change your health. Okay, and the third thing is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is something that I've added into my life since 2018, and it has totally changed my health. It's changed my spiritual life. It's changed my overall wellness of every part of my life. What does that do? Well, it's one of the best ways to reduce insulin. Insulin is a fat storage hormone. High insulin resistance leads to inflammation within our body. Fasting addresses all of that. It helps your body to go into autophagy, to clean out dead cells or zombie cells that are sitting around in your body sick and unable to do anything. Your body will actually go eat those cells and turn them into new cells, or create new stem cells. We have this mechanism in our body that we were created to do, to go without food. We aren't created to eat all the time, putting things in our mouth, snacking all day. We need to think of this in a whole different way. We don't live to eat, we eat to live. And we don't eat because we feel like we want to taste something or we feel like we want to chew something. You eat to live. That's why you eat. So you have to be very conscious and particular and specific of what you put in your mouth, the nutrients, the whole foods. But going time every day, and sometimes longer than a day, without food is so healing for your body, your mind. When you are metabolically flexible, which fasting helps you get into that. You start out slow and you head into more fast, longer fast, more therapeutic fasting that can really help get in and clean out your system. But when you do that, that helps to clean your mind, clean your brain, clean your heart, clean your body of toxins and buildup and things that should not be there. Like I said, when we eat the wrong foods and we have toxins everywhere in our environment, in our skincare, in our home care, everywhere. We can't get away from it. But our bodies are so amazing that God made our bodies and created them that they can clean up pretty darn good. They can get rid of those things that are damaging. But we need to give our bodies time through fasting to be able to do that. I look younger. I feel younger. I have energy, I have focus, I have confidence, and I attribute it to fasting. It's helped me to grow in self-awareness, in self-control, in prudence, in knowing that I can not take something and be completely okay. I'm not going to die if I don't have that thing that I'm craving right now. That will pass. And fasting has taught me how to really just take control of those desires or those things in your life that are just our flesh wanting to feel good, wanting to be comfortable, because that's what we want. We always want to be comfortable. But when you fast, you tame the flesh. You are in control. You decide. Your body can feel like, oh, I want to eat something. But when you make the decision, it is life-changing because we can do it. We can do hard things. You can say no. And once you get these systems into place, like once you start eating real food, once you start moving and your body starts to heal and feel better, you'll be able to move in and out of fast and feel so good as you heal your body. Fasting is a healing process. That is one thing I will never change in my life. Using fasting as a tool for better health. Number 4 is fixing my morning routine. One thing I've come to realize is besides what we eat and our movement, how we feel, the little things that affect our hormones and our body's circadian rhythm. The rhythm of our body waking up and going to sleep that is woken by the sun every morning is a natural process we should be working with. And so getting up in the morning, first thing I do is I delay caffeine. I delay caffeine to work with my natural hormones. I don't want to feel all jittery. I don't want to be drug awake by caffeine. I want my body to do it naturally. So I give my body 60 to 90 minutes every morning before I even have caffeine. I take my time to pray. I take my time to journal, and then I will have caffeine. That has really changed my morning. I have a little bit of sea salt and water, and I just feel hydrated. I feel focused. I feel energized having that before my caffeine. The other habit that I put into place for my morning routine is looking into the sun. Having the sun's rays enter your eyes helps to balance your hormones and gives you your body that ability to know it's time to wake up. And you know what that does? It also helps your body to know when it's time to go to sleep. It just regulates everything. It is so connected. When you think about it, you can just be in awe. God made the sun to wake us up. The sun goes away to tell us it's time to sleep. And expand on that, we need less sleep in the summer. The days are longer, and our bodies actually, physiology, don't need as much sleep. We don't need as much sleep as we do in the winter when the days are shorter. Who knew? God knew exactly what he's doing. So you can work with that rhythm, making sure you get morning sunlight, making sure you delay your coffee, have quiet time in the morning, and really get your day set up for fat burning and feeling your best. And the 5th thing that I have put into place that has absolutely changed everything is I have a schedule. I have the same wake up time. I have the same bedtime pretty much. And I have the same routine that I do when I wake up. I have the same routine, a certain routine that I do when I go to bed. But that helps my body know it's time to wake up. It's time to go to bed. I'm working with my circadian rhythm. In the nighttime, that's my fasting hours. My body is getting ready to go into deep fat burning as I sleep. I'm going in to rest my body because besides fasting being healing, our sleep is healing. It's so important. You cannot drop fat unless you are getting adequate sleep and making sure that your sleep is adequate, that your room is dark, that you are trying not to be a mouth breather. Those are things that you need to work on. But when you protect that, like your life depends on it, when you protect your sleep like your life depends on it, because your health and your life actually do, you feel better. You have more energy. I wake up in the morning and I'm ready to go. I don't drag out of bed. I don't need to be lay there for 10 minutes tossing and turning. When I wake up, when it's time for me to get up, I'm up out of bed. I have energy and ready to go. And then in the evening, towards the end of the day, when it's time for me to start to wind down, my body, I can feel it. It's starting to wind down. It's starting to shut down. It's starting to get ready for a restful night. But keeping that routine, we are made for routines. Once in a while, you can break out of that routine for excitement or whatever's come along. But when you really make sure that you focus on keeping that routine of wake and sleep, it just is life-changing. It helps you to feel more in control. Your body just adjusts to it in such a way that makes you healthier. You just feel better. You have more energy, you have more focus. Your body works the way it's supposed to. It just all works in rhythm together. So these 5 things are things that I do every single day. They didn't all happen at once. So let me caution you. It isn't something that I woke up one day and say, yep, I'm going to do this, and this, and that was the end of it. It wasn't like that. I had to add one at a time into my life and see what it would do. My routine, my habits throughout my days now look totally different than they did 7 years ago. But they also look totally different than they did a year ago. Because as I learn, as I evolve, I start to add in things that I know are for best for my health. We don't know everything. Nobody knows everything right now. And the only way you're going to know what works for you is take yourself and start making it a priority to take care of your health and start putting in one of these habits, 2 of these habits. Do something that you can take control of today to help you turn towards that healthier version of you. Once you do that, you can start looking back on your life and say, these 5 things help me turn my health around, help me drop fat, help me lose weight for good. You can have your 5 habits. These are 5 things that I know have changed my life, and I'm certainly sure and positive they would change yours. But let me know below. Are you going to try one of these habits? Do you do any of these habits? And do you have a specific habit that you'd like to add to my list? Let me know. I love hearing from you. I hope that you found this video helpful, and I will see you in the next video.